Sean did a great job.
There he is doing his thing out on the practice field in the Air Monarchs.
There he is.
Oh, yeah.
It's the fastest. I don't know. What are you, 69 now? However, you're up there.
I'm not giving up my number.
You're not giving it up.
I know what the number is.
You do, right?
It is.
It might be 7-0.
I'm always
That's
at
not a pretty
7-1.
sight. You don't have to keep rolling that.
7-1. But that's all right.
Can we take that off the loop?
Nah, come on.
It is always amazing. Anytime we see you before a game, like you're transported back. Like it's the enthusiasm and glee of a kid, and that's great to see.
Yeah, well, this is the game we play, and we sometimes lose sight of that, and it's always been the game. It's always been about playing catch and throwing the ball and all that kind of stuff to me, and has never really changed. I'm as excited about it as I've ever been. This offseason right now it's a thrill to try to see if we can maximize this thing. It's a great challenge, and to me it's always competitions.
Right.
We're battling to see if we can figure it out. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, everybody talks about you and competition and all that. Well, another little just silly question: gum. What's your gum, and how often do we change
I'm a
your
bubble
pieces?
yum guy that's never cashed in on it. I don't know what's happened. They never came to me. I don't know.
And are you just like throwing a new piece every 5 minutes, kind of thing? Because you look like
only on game day.
Only on game day.
Yeah,
That's your gum day.
Yeah.
See, it's the opportunity for all the bubblegum competitors to come in because they can get you to convert if the price is right.
I'm
setting the market.
You're a gum-free agent.
I'm a free agent. Although I am pretty partial to it. So.
Hey, speaking of free agents, let's just take it up right there. We've been waiting for news that Geno Smith is going to stick around. There's just been a vibe that it's going to work out. Are you confident at this point that you're going to get it worked out before you'd have to use the franchise tag?
Well, I'm just counting on it. I don't know if confident. I'm counting on it. Geno's been us, and we've been him, and so we should just do this together. But
right.
we still got to work out the business part of it, and we've got a team that needs some help, and we've got some areas in free agency that we've got to address, and we're looking forward to doing that. And it's, this is the game that you play this time of year, so we're working hard at it. We'd love to have Geno back. He did a fantastic job. I love his story. Love competing with him. Love going to the games with him and knowing he's going to lead us and all that. He's done a marvelous job. With
Marvelous.
Just handle it so well, and probably better than the football stuff. It's the way he's been able to engage in this opportunity and maximize it just by being himself. It's a great story.
I have a little history that he used to throw with my dad and my brother, and they've always been like, man, Geno is the guy, and they've always thought he had this potential. When did you? I know you knew you liked him and he could be your quarterback, but you traded for Drew Lock. Like, when was the moment where you're like, damn, this guy is like, he got it. Like, he's playing well.
I go back to he showed in his chance 2 years ago when he got 3 games to start and he came in in the Rams game.
When Russell hurt his finger.
Yeah, right. The last game he played before Russ came back against Jacksonville, he was 15 for 15.
Yeah.
Threw a great game at him, and it looked like he found his groove a little bit, and we weren't sure. We didn't know. But that was the first indicator. And he's always been awesome in practice. There's nobody that throws the ball better than he does.
Oh, I know. I know.
He's just a regular, tremendous athlete. And not a regular. He's an extraordinary, tremendous athlete. But he just took it over. And the way he handled the competition, and Drew gave him a run for it, too. We really made it competitive, just like we had done the last time we were choosing a quarterback. And he never wavered. He knew he was going to win the job. He just kept staying with it. And he didn't have all perfect days, but he had a lot of good stuff happen. And then when he got his chance, he just totally embraced it and went with it. So,
Coach, do you think it was an aberration, or do you think that other teams now will start taking a closer look at quarterbacks who didn't have things work out for them in their first stop, fall into that void of backup, second string, third string, that maybe there's something there that this guy can still be a starter in this league instead of just being relegated to understudy role?
I find myself today in answering the questions and all really singing the praises of the opportunities for young guys, that we have to give them a second chance and a third chance. This job is so hard. Right. It's so challenging, and so few guys can just jump in and embrace it and take it and kick butt with it. That if you saw the talent and you saw the makeup that told you we're going to draft this guy, you got to fight through the expectations and the disappointments of the expectations. They can't make it happen in their first 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, right.
And wait them out. And if you do wait them out, there's a great reward down there. This is an illustration. This isn't the only indication of that. I mean, there's other illustrations of it in the past. Some great players have made it through and struggled earlier in their career, and then they found their way. And because the game is so challenging, there's so much to it that until they really embrace that and they take command of it, you don't know.
Right.
But if they've got the ability and they have something, I'm selling the
patience.
Keep giving the patience, give guys another chance and see it through and see that maybe. Let me add to that, and I've said that Geno had such great belief and commitment to his own ability and his confidence that he maintained through all of the disappointing years. Is unusual, and that was probably the most important element of all of it. He had the talent to do it, but he never gave up on himself, and it's a beautiful story to see it come through.
The like you, John Schneider, you guys are always kind of like open about what you need to get better with or whatever, what area of the team. I mean, I know you don't want to give away all the recipes here, but
or none of them,
or none of them, yeah, right. But I mean, I think we could probably figure out a few of them. But like, what is the area like you talked about? You know, Geno's contract. What are we looking to address with your football team that's just like priority number one?
We really want to keep adding competitive guys that are really over the top that way. You know, as much as we hit it with the height, weight, and speed thing with Tariq Woolen, but we found out that he was a terrific competitor too. And when we knew, I can't tell you that we knew all of that early on because it was kind of it was a fifth-round pick and all of that. But we want to keep adding to it because the guys that came through this year for us in this last year's draft all have great makeup. They have confidence in themselves. They've got the willingness to say, okay, I don't know everything, but yet I'm going to dig in and fight and call and scratch and hang with it. And we were rewarded with a great class last year, of guys. And it's the makeup of the kids that are so important. Now we really want to stay with that and really make sure that that's at the very source of what we're doing in this process.
How do you flush that out? It's like the guys we call like psychos in a good way, right? That you want in your phone, who just listen to coach, do whatever it is. How do you flush that out in this whole process?
That's what the process is for. The interviews are for, and our guys have to be tuned into what they're looking for. And then John and I, we ultimately get down to it, and we need all of the information we can get. So that's what this process is, and hopefully we come up with some great answers and some great insights, and we hit it right, and we really did last year for sure.
Yeah. I've been sitting here trying to think of the best way to ask this, Coach. I'm just going to ask it.
Are you sure?
What was your reaction?
I'll give you a second thought here.
No,
you don't have
because I think it's. I'm not, because I don't mean anything negative by it. We're all human beings.
I can handle it. Bring it on, Mike.
Right, and you open up your phone or your computer and you see The Athletic has this report with, in the first paragraph, Russell Wilson tried to get you and John fired. What's your reaction when you see that?
I just think this has been a cavalcade of reports all ever since this thing happened, and they've all kind of gone in a kind of a negative light, and unfortunately for us, but here's what I would say, that I'm not giving up on my guys ever. I don't care how old they get or how many things they say. Once we've gone to battle as much as we have, and we've fought to compete in all of the challenges and the hard work and all that, I ain't giving up on these guys. I'm going to prove to them that I'm never leaving them. And so, I've got plenty of examples of guys that we've had through the program that stay with us and come back to us, and they find the sense of the relationship and the depth of it and all of that. And I'm just not giving up on guys. So I don't care what's said. It doesn't matter to me.
So when you see that, do you say that's not true? Do you think it's true?
Nice
do you
try.
find out whether it's true? Like, what do you think?
It's not. It doesn't have anything to do with it. That's not how I'm responding. You ask me how I'm going to respond to it. I'm responding to it the way I am. That
it doesn't matter to you if
it's
true.
I don't care. I just want to be an illustration, an example for these guys that you can really hang with people in relationships that you put so much into
Feathers
it.
get
So you're
ruffled.
fine.
It's worth it.
Whatever
it's kind of like
said,
unconditional love, If that's probably the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving up on anything, no matter what happens. So
You're fine with Russ no matter what. That's what I'm taking away from this.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
but
you had
that.
a lot of good times with them and good things. You guys amazing things. I don't even want to. All right, here's another one for you, because I've always heard the stories. The Seattle scheme. I mean, one of the greatest defensive schemes in the history of the sport it started with you guys, of course. You've gotten away from that.
I had too many coordinators leave with all the answers.
Yeah, so that kind of right. So yeah, just
on both sides of the ball.
Lead us down.
You have to keep moving. You have to keep evolving. And so we're in a transition of evolution for us.
Right.
That's really, really exciting to me. And so we've mixed. I wanted to expand the things we were doing in the secondary, and so we've done that. Yeah. And now we need to hone in on it and make it come to life in a big way. I think there's a lot of magic in what we're doing right now, and we got to put it together and make sure that our players can express it. It fits them so that they can show what they're capable of doing, and in a big way, in a consistent way, with great confidence and commitment and all that. So that's what we're doing. So it's an exciting time for Clint and I, and as we're working it out.
But that was the big thing why you got away from it. You just felt like it was around the league too much, and too many coordinators started to have kind of Rolodex of plays that they would do to attack it, right?
We had to face the reality of it.
Yeah.
We had to keep moving. And we had a great run. We had years and years of great defense. And our guys fit the scheme so well that we didn't have to do anything different. We just needed to let them play their game.
Right.
And so that was, if there was any genius in it, it was that, in allowing Earl and Cam and Richard and Michael and all those guys, Cliff, all those guys to do their thing in a way that you couldn't deal with us. And the great expression was all the way that the Super Bowl we played against Peyton was really the height of demonstrating that.
It was amazing.
It was a game we played as basic to the letter of what we had been doing the whole time, and forced them to restrict what they were doing. And in that we were able to really play a great game against the best offense you ever saw.
Yeah.
Right. And so that was that was
special.
We got to get on. We didn't have that all together all the time. We grew to that. We got to evolve to it again.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.